Intelligent Radio.
With SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Authorities in Alabama say a Mississippi man has confessed to killing 5 adults whose bodies were found in a home in southern Alabama yesterday. Derek Dearman could face 5 or 6 counts of capital murder. Louisiana's governor says people around the country are just beginning to pay attention to the extent of flooding that killed at least 13 people in the state. Governor John Bel Edwards tells CNN the disaster has received less attention because it wasn't a hurricane or a named storm. 13 people have been shot and wounded at a house party in Connecticut. Police in Bridgeport say 11 men and 2 women were taken to hospitals early today with gunshot wounds. 1 woman is in critical condition. An American has won a bronze medal in the men's marathon in Rio today. Galen Rupp finished 3rd. It was his 2nd marathon ever. This is SRN News.
Steve Deace believes the media is baiting Trump.
I believe that the game plan here is to come up with angles to troll Trump, to get him to act out, to create more days of news cycles. And so I think you're going to see more of these kinds of stories from the left, regardless of their veracity, because these are attempts to bait Trump into acting out.
The Steve Deace Show, weeknights at 11, right after Mark Levin at 8, on AM 1280, The Patriot. Intelligent Radio.
You are tuned to AM 1280 The Patriot. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. From the Benjamin Franklin Plumbing Weather Center, here's a look at your forecast for today. Sunny and 73, a low of 59 for tonight. For Monday and Tuesday, sunny with highs in the mid-80s, a chance of showers on Wednesday. Don't forget, you could win $5,000 cash or a Ben-Hur prize pack in the Ben-Hur Dash for Cash sweepstakes. To register, visit am1280thepatriot.com.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher for Park Chrysler Jeep. As a former Jeep owner, I loved every minute of my Jeep experience. Whether running to the store or hitting the open road, there's no experience like it. Mike at Park Chrysler Jeep and his team are able to get you into a Jeep that you'll love to drive with their destination location in Burnsville.
Hello, this is Anthony Williams. I am one of your product specialists at Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville. I'm excited to be part of this family-owned dealership. We want to invite you, Jeep fans, and especially if you've never considered Jeep before, to come to Park Chrysler Jeep. We are the people's dealership. If you are driving a vehicle you hate or you owe too much money on, don't worry. We have a program for you. Need or want a quality new or used vehicle? Come see us at Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville, 15 minutes from the Mall of America.
Family owned since 1957, there's a reason why people travel from out of state to have the Park Chrysler Jeep experience. Whether you need a Jeep or just need one service, there's only one, Park Chrysler Jeep, or online at parkchryslerjeep.com.
The U.S. stock market's on the brink of collapse. World currencies will soon freeze and devalue, and gold will hit $10,000 per ounce. So says New York Times best-selling author and economist Jim Rickards in his latest book, The New Case for Gold. Hi, my name is Adam Barata. I'm the managing director at Advantage Gold. Advantage Gold is on a mission to warn everyone about the massive risks facing all investors right now. And that is why Advantage Gold is giving away Jim Rickards' latest best-selling book absolutely free. Call 800-900-8000 right now to get your free copy. That's 800-900-8000. In this book, Jim explains how loose credit has created massive asset bubbles, why central banks are no longer able to prop up economies by taking on more debt, and why demand for gold will soon spike worldwide, driving the gold price to as high as $10,000. If you care about your financial future, please call now. 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. My name is Adam Barata. We are Advantage Gold, and your future is safe in our hands. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold has the highest ratings according to TrustLink, with a 100% 5-star rating.
Rejuvenate, be inspired, refresh. Sound like some of the realities you'd like for yourself this fall? Then embark on a 15-day, all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise of a lifetime with the Patriot. Sail the pristine Mediterranean waters with Celebrity Cruises on the luxurious Silhouette ship. With thrilling stops in Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, Athens, and more, you'll experience sights like the magnificent Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, and the beautiful Greek island of Santorini, and so much more. This is not just a cruise. You'll follow in the footsteps of the apostles on the journeys of St. Paul to Athens and Ephesus. Absorb the sights of the early church on this one-of-a-kind spiritual journey, along with special guest, resident teaching pastor Alistair Begg. The Footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise, September 22nd to October 9th. For more information, go to am1280thepatriot.com.
Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group at Coldwell Banker Burnett. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to the program. I'm Keith Hittner, Sr. here in the studio with Keith Hittner, Jr. and the money man, Kelvin Kaemingk from American Mortgage and Equity Consultants. And you can reach Kelvin directly at 651-231-2500, 651-231-2500. He's got those great low rates, and we're going to be having a nice chat with him about those rates and what's going on in the markets later in the program. RealEstateChalkTalk.com is where you want to go to find vendor contact information, help you fix up your home and get it ready for sale. And if you want to speak to us directly, call the number, you know it, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. That's the number to call if you need our help. Remember, we can't help you if you don't call, so call us today. Ever get stuck with the grilling in the backyard, Keith Areno?
I love to grill in the backyard.
Sometimes, you just want to talk to your guests.
Yeah.
And
I prefer to
be in the moment.
Yeah, I prefer to go pick up ribs from the Rack Shack barbecue.
Oh, there you go.
In Burnsville or West St. Paul, and then I just kind of finish them on the grill. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll bring them out and kind of sauce them up, and then get that sauce to caramelize on the grill there. Ooh.
We have a number of people, as a matter of fact, who do exactly that, and then they go down to the Twins for tailgating.
Yep.
And
really?
They finish the ribs off on the grill.
That's
and then have
idea.
fabulous tailgating down at the Twins.
Good deal. You can go to RackShackBarbecue.com/delivery to get your food delivered to you, or RackShackBBQCatering.com, and we can set up an event for you.
There you go. This week we've got I think we got a good show this week. If I do say so.
Every week.
Finally,
we're going to have a good show.
We're going to have Twin City Tree Authority on. We love these guys. They do such a great job. They've done work for actually everybody in the room. And it's a good job. So we'll talk about tree trimming and some arbor issues. And then we've got another guest coming on from North Central University, and we're going to get an update on what's going on with that school, but not just with the school, but what's going on downtown Minneapolis in terms of the development and the just so many opportunities in downtown Minneapolis.
It's unbelievable right now.
Hard to believe that it's run by a bunch of Democrats, but, give credit where credit is due, I guess. You know what I'm saying? What else are you going to do?
Taxes are kind of really high,
the
though.
Taxes are ridiculous, but that's all right. They push it. They push them all down onto the poor people.
Perfect.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. So what do you got, Kelvin? Any questions this week?
This week, yeah. Well, last week we had a couple people that called in, and we had a number of closings this past week as well. And one thing that came up was talking about just the shift in the market from when a lot of our clients bought their property a couple months ago, and now we're finally closing. Touch on. And we had a good conversation at closing about, but just touch on what's shifted over the market in the last 2 months.
Yeah, so we had a closing just this past week here late where the purchase agreement was written nearly 3 months ago. And so we had a bit of an extended closing time due to some new construction purchasing on the other side by that seller. It was a buyer of mine. I had sold their listing 3 months ago here too in the city of Lakeville, and very robust, swift. Higher price point, than you would consider properties in the $250 range. They're selling in days. This property was in the upper threes that we sold for them, and multiple showings in a very short period of time. Not multiple offers on this one, though, just one very well negotiated price right at the asking price. And it happened all very fast for them. And so we had to hump and go out quickly and find what they were looking for, with listing inventory being limited even in the price point that they bought, which was nearly $500,000. There was a move-up situation. Even there, the property came on the market, and my buyer literally wanted to make an offer sight unseen at 11 o'clock at night when it came on the market.
Wow.
And, you had to dial them back a little bit and just say, hold on, let's go out there and look. I know it's in the right spot, in the right neighborhood, and we know the builder because it's a newer construction home, so it's not like we haven't seen them before. But we got to get out there and see the lay of the land. So we went out there that very next morning at 8 o'clock. Surprised we got the showing, even confirmed from that evening. Rushed over there, looked at the property, quickly wrote the offer. I literally went down the street to a park and wrote the offer in a parking lot of the park.
Mm-hmm. Good Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I have Wi-Fi everywhere I go, so I pulled up my computer and wrote the offer real quick, and I fired it off to the husband at work, and then it went off to her email as well, and everybody signed it, and I got it over to the listing agent. We're talking like within the course of, we had an 8 o'clock showing, and we had an offer to him by 9. I mean, our showing time wasn't even over yet.
Wow.
So we can do this stuff really quick when we need to, and when we're in a market like that, which was 3 months ago, now it's nearing the end of October, August, nearing the end of August, but what is that, like end of May, June, July, yeah, it's about the end of May, really swift, and you had to be on the ball like this. Otherwise, you were either going to miss out or you're going to find yourself in a multiple offer situation. And with this particular property, we wrote it for $10,000 over the asking price.
Wow.
I mean, we wanted the property. The pricing was right on it. We knew that the value was there, so we just went after it and ended up putting it together. Now,
so compare that to today.
So today, yeah, thanks for bringing me back to reality.
4 minutes.
Right,
Yeah.
good. I had to set the stage.
Just set the plate.
Set the stage.
Set the table.
Set the table. So today, it's quite different. I'm putting a new listing on the market, and it'll be interesting to see in Bloomington, 189.9. I expect it to go quick, but my expectations are based on how the market's been going.
I think it's more property determined now.
Property determined, price point. So we have more properties that are coming on around the metro. But overall, when we talk to our office even about how the listing activity is going and the showing activity is going, showing activity is down. It's just that time of year where the activity will slow a bit, and that's relative.
Right.
Our market is still much better than it was years ago, just 2, 3, 4 years ago, where we have a very small amount of inventory on the market in comparison to where we were. That listing inventory continues to shrink, so we will still continue to see great sales, but the market's slower. It's a little more laid back than what it was in May and in April.
But steady.
But steady.
Very
so
steady.
it's interesting to see and have that conversation because it's a pretty stark contrast to what I just described in rushing up the street and getting the offer put together. You don't quite have to do that right now. You can absorb a little bit more. And as a buyer, that's nice. You don't feel as much pressure. And a seller, it's not so bad because your home is still getting activity and it will still sell. So interestingly enough, if you do have a property that you are considering selling, there's still plenty of time to do so. There's still great activity. It's just not as swift as it is in the spring. You give us a call at 612-627-8000. Or you can always log on to realestatechalktalk.com. That's realestatechalktalk.com. It's fun in every market, though. I mean, even when the market was terrible, we still have a good time with the market and good time with the marketing and the interactions with clients. It's just different conversations. So, frankly, it's nice to be able to step back and not have those hard conversations with people. But you sure learn a lot going through that market.
Senior, talk a little bit about the closing we had this past week where a lot of conversation was around the condition of the home at delivery. We talk about that, and I know Junior had that.
We have this all the time, and people just have different expectations, I think, of, first of all, the purchase agreement itself says no debris left in the property.
Okay.
So if you got junk, trash, garbage, it's your responsibility to get it cleared out.
Right.
So a couple instances this week. One is they did that. People have different notions. These people were out early. They had professional cleaners come in and clean the house. They had some rubbish that they needed to get taken care of. They put it out on the driveway. They called the rubbish company because they had to have a special pickup to pick it up. And 5 minutes after closing, this conversation was relayed at the closing table. 5 minutes after closing, the buyer's agent's emailing me saying, when are you going to get this garbage off the driveway? It's like, well, we just had that conversation. It's coming. It had to be a separate truck, that whole explanation again. And then other people, we had one where the guy took, We closed, and the seller, not our seller, someone else's, but there's a bunch of garbage under the deck.
Okay.
And I had the conversation at closing, get the garbage out. Well, he takes the garbage and throws it on the railroad tracks. And the railroad right away, because it was convenient for him to throw it on.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. So
people ride on those railroad tracks.
all of a sudden,
like a train goes down those.
The police are at the house knocking on the door, and the new owners are in there saying, "Hello, can I help you?" And they say, "This is your address? Is this you?" And they know that's a previous owner. Well, they found it on the railroad tracks. Went through the garbage and found the guy some old bills and stuff like that.
Address was on there.
Address was on there and name. So
I wonder if they tracked him down.
They gave him the forwarding address, and yes, they will be visiting the previous
Crazy.
seller.
Well, some people's definition of clean is different than others, and we definitely have a conversation with our sellers about expectations on turning that property over to a buyer, and we also prep our buyers when going through that you may have to do some cleaning. It's not a brand new home, and so people were actually living in
white
here.
Glove clean.
Yeah, people were living in here, and it's still a good idea to bring in your professional cleaners, carpet cleaners, etc. We have all those contacts for you. If you're interested, go to realestatechalktalk.com. We have great contacts there, or you can give us a call at 612-627-8000. That's it for the first segment of Real Estate Chalk Talk, and we'll be right back talking with Twin City Tree Authority, our preferred tree vendors. Give us a call, 612-627-8000. We'll be right back.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue, ooh, 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 yeah.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
Coldwell Banker Burnett serves home buyers and sellers in Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Our professional sales associates provide a full-service, one-stop shopping real estate experience. And we've got the latest technology to market your home or assist with your home search. Visit cbburnett.com online or on your web-enabled cell phone. Coldwell Banker apps are also available for your iPhone, iPad, or Android device. Wherever you go, we've got the home search tools you need. Go to cbburnett.com.
Today's stringent lending guidelines are challenging enough, so when you're finally ready to close, call Burnett Title to get the job done right. Since 1981, Burnett Title has been an industry leader providing title insurance and closing services for residential, new construction, and commercial transactions. With 19 closing locations, Burnett Title can expedite your closing, whether it's in the Twin Cities, Rochester, St. Cloud, or western Wisconsin. For information, call 952-844-6200 or go to BurnettTitle.com. 952-844-6200.
Do you understand what the boss is saying? No, not at all. It's all muffled. Sounds like the mic isn't working or something. Yeah, I know. All I hear is wah, wah, wah. And I figure it's important because this meeting has been planned for weeks. I can't even see what's on the projector. What is he pointing at? I don't know. It's really grainy. It's like my first TV from college. Yeah, well, only another 30 minutes until we can escape for lunch. I got some paper. Want to play tic-tac-toe or something? Yeah, X, center square.
Hi, I'm Mark, president of WNAV Audiovisual. WNAV assists with over 400 Twin Cities events annually with top-of-the-line technology for corporate meetings since 1983. At WNAV Audiovisual, we know how important your meetings are, which is why you can put it in the hands of our top technicians. Whether it's an installation project or an employee meeting, don't let technology components ruin what should be a productive, engaging gathering. WNAV Audiovisual, where your meeting is our business. Online at wnav-video.com.
Congratulations, you finally found your dream home. They've accepted your offer. And now, you need a closing company that can bring it all home. What you need is Global Closing and Title Services. Global Closing and Title is licensed for residential and commercial transactions here in Minnesota and Wisconsin and can close anytime, anywhere at your convenience.
Call Global Closing and Title at 952-895-8400. That's 952-895-8400. Or go to gcstitle.com.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Start protecting yourself from mayhem today. Call Allstate Agent Brady at 952-905-2735. Coverage subject to terms, qualifications, and availability. Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
And now, we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge, your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're broadcasting From the Rec Shack Barbecue Studio, I'm Keith Ittner Sr. in the studio with Keith Ittner Jr., and you can reach us directly at 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000. Kelvin Kaemingk is here, and he'll be bringing us up to date on the marketplace. And you can always call Kelvin directly as well. 651-231-2500 is his direct dial number. And if you're planning a lunch meeting or a company picnic, give him some really good food for a change. Call the Rack Shack Barbecue Catering Hotline. Call them today at 612-326-0430 or go online, better yet, to rackshackbarbecue.com. Spell it out, barbecue.com. Click on the catering link, fill out the little form there, and Elliot will reach out to you and get you all hooked up, keep you well within your budget. So we have a good show this week. Right now we're going to speak with Twin City Tree Authority. Clark Johnson's here, and Clark has done work at all of our houses. We've had a lot of storms, wind going on this year, broken branches and those kinds of things. Clark, tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing throughout this season, and how's your season going for you?
Well, thanks for having me. I guess we're doing a lot of removals and tree trimming, some storm damage. A common thing I've been seeing is with autumn blaze maple trees.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people have put in trees, probably 10 years ago. They're a highly recommended tree
at the time
to plant. What I'm seeing now after about 10 years of age, a lot of weak branch unions.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So we're getting a lot of splitting autumn blaze maple trees.
Oh, really?
So I've been really pushing people to try to thin their trees out to try to prevent that.
So the weight.
Yeah, there's, get
And the
some
wind.
of that weight off the top. Where all the leverage is when the wind blows, thin from the top down, not just halfway up. You got to go to the tippy top, get some of those multiple tops reduced, and that'll help tremendously, structurally with your tree.
Can you tell me how tall is a 10-year-old maple tree?
I can be, 25, 30 feet tall.
Okay.
They grow very fast. They're, a cross between a silver maple and a red maple.
Oh.
So they don't get as spread out as a silver maple, the real huge maple
How about
trees.
the roots?
You can see a lot of surface roots with autumn blaze.
Yeah, that's a problem with the silver, too. It's a lot
Yeah,
of surface
you really got to invest in trimming them if you're going to plant them from day one. Basically let it acclimate to the ground, then start structurally pruning it within a couple of years.
Interestingly
and
enough, in my back right corner of my property this year, during one of our windstorms that we had, various windstorms that we had this year, I lost a big branch off the tree into the backyard. I ended up cutting that up and having the lawn care guys take it out for me. And then we went on a travel trip to Utah with my little children. I came back and that tree was down. I mean, it had weakened it by that branch coming down, and the rest of the canopy came down with it. And I came back, and the thing was laying on the ground.
Yeah, it's a very
It was
common
probably about 6 feet up the tree where the stalk was, or the what do you call it? Trunk.
Mm-hmm.
The trunk was about 6 feet, and then the rest of it had come down after that substantial branch came off of it. So I ended up just cutting that sucker right to the ground, and what are you going to do now?
I'm curious. You have on
I
your
suppose call you guys to get the stump out.
right.
Yeah, definitely.
You have low impact removal. Just tell us a little bit about what low impact removal means to you, because it sounds good, but I don't know what it means.
Well, when we're removing a large tree, in maybe your backyard, we have to get all that material out a lot of the time right on your turf, right on the grass. It's heavy stuff, heavy material, heavy equipment. We're making sure to pad in. We're making sure to do a lot of roping and rigging with ropes so that we're not leaving big craters in your yard. We're trying to make the tree disappear with the least amount of visible signs that we were even there.
Well, what goes with along that is spikeless trimming. What is that?
And spikeless trimming involves basically not using spikes on your feet to climb trees and trim them. We set a lot of ropes. There's a lot of different techniques we use to ascend into the trees. Ladders, single line techniques, so that we're not poking holes through the bark. The bark of the tree is kind of like skin on humans. If you break it, it's a entry point for disease and pathogens. So we're very gentle on the trees. We're trying to make proper cuts. We're not, tearing and peeling cuts. We're doing it in a way that the tree can heal best and, not notice us there, basically.
So you guys do service on like golf courses and townhome complexes and those larger developments as well.
Yep.
So when you're going through on a survey, say that you're walking through the grounds and you see trees that are leaning, and there's that way all the time. Trees are always leaning and whatnot. Do you recommend that those are taken down? Do you put guy wires on them, or do you just leave them and let nature take its course, or what?
Well, whenever we're doing estimates, we try to give people options. Well, we're low pressure guys. I'll give you possibly with a heavy leaning tree, we can trim it in a way that it'll reduce weight on the top, and make it structurally more solid. Sometimes, I'll recommend removing it so that someone doesn't have to worry about it. If it's a tree that's been concerning someone for years and it's leaning towards their house, they can't sleep at night. I've had people that couldn't sleep in their bedroom because they thought a tree was going to fall on their house.
Oh, no.
So at that point,
Might
I say,
well
let's
take
just
it
get
out.
rid of this thing.
Right.
So
Just
that you don't
reduce
have
the
to worry
anxiety.
about it and you can sleep at night. So we try to give a lot of different options, light trimming, canopy raising, clearance from houses, driveways, and then full prunes. We like to give you different options. So depending on the amount of money you can afford to spend, you can go different routes.
Talk about the time of year of trimming and of removal. Is there a preferred time of the year for you guys to be out?
Removals, mostly any time of the year. Now with all the rain we have to kind of step back and let the yards dry up. We want a nice firm, real solid yard.
Okay.
To get equipment in and out. Otherwise you can leave ruts, tear yards up. So removals, when it's nice and dry, any time of the year. Sometimes we save a few for the winter. It depends on locations of the trees and access that we have. Trimming, we can trim certain trees certain times of the year. Oaks, elms, ash, fruit trees. We want to wait till they're dormant in the winter.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of tree services out there trimming crab apples right now, which they shouldn't be doing, but people do it. But we kind of take a more conservative approach and make sure to do it the right time of the year, and people are willing to wait when we explain to them, the reasons why.
Do you mark trees at this time of the year so you know what to cut and where
No,
to cut?
we can see the buds on the trees.
Okay.
When you get up in the tree and get real close up, you can tell a dead branch from a live branch, even if it's dormant without leaves.
We're talking with Clark Johnson, owner of Twin City Tree Authority. They're the ones that we prefer to use, and we use them a lot. I had a tree that came down in my yard this year. It was that great big tall pine tree. It's been in that yard forever, and we had a wind, and that son of a gun blew over. It was shocking to me that big tree would come down.
What I noticed about that tree that was in his front yard is that all the, it was a huge pine tree. The pines, the arms and the needles were all kind of like drooping and pointing down. Is there anything you can do with those trees to kind of strengthen those so they don't fall over? I mean, I had Slibe out to my house, and what I really like about your outfit is that you guys are extremely knowledgeable about trees in general. It's not just like, hey, we'll come rip that out for you. I've had Slibe say, no, don't remove that. There's no reason for that. Or with the pine trees, there's things you can do to make those pine trees more healthy so they can come back and be stronger trees.
Yeah, I mean, we recommend fertilizer stakes on, older spruce trees mainly. The location where your spruce was too, right next to the house, in the rock, it's not getting, nutrient replenishing, probably not getting fertilized. So you can stick some fertilizer stakes.
I can guarantee it's not getting fertilized.
Around the drip line, and that helps.
Don't those trees have more of a tap root though that goes down? I just figured that the roots were down so far in the ground that pounding a stake in the ground. What's that?
You figured wrong. We're going to answer that on the other side of the break here. We're going to spend just a couple minutes with you on the other side of the break.
I've been told I figured wrong by my son.
You figured wrong.
I figured wrong again. Let's go.
This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll be right back after the break here. Give us a call, 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000. We'll have just another couple of minutes with Clark Johnson from Twin Cities Tree Authority when we return.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue, yeah.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
The highly trained plumbing technicians of H2C Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing can do it all. 50 years of experience helping local homes and businesses with their plumbing needs and issues with water heaters, bathrooms, leaky faucets, and pipe repair. Providing first estimates and bringing back fair pricing to the Twin Cities, and providing 24/7 emergency service. H2C Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit myh2c.com.
When we made an offer on our dream home, it was contingent on a home inspection by Inspecta Homes. It was money well spent.
Since 1981, Inspecta Homes has helped buyers evaluate homes. They inspect everything from the grade and drainage to steps, decks, porches, and roof. Inside, they evaluate the windows, doors, and the mechanical systems, so you know you're making a wise choice. So be smart. Call Inspecta Homes for your home inspection, 651-641-0641, or go to inspectahomes.com.
Rejuvenate, be inspired, refresh. Sound like some of the realities you'd like for yourself this fall? Then embark on a 15-day, all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise of a lifetime with the Patriot. Sail the pristine Mediterranean waters with celebrity cruises on the luxurious Silhouette ship. With thrilling stops in Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, Athens, and more, you'll experience sights like the magnificent Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, and the beautiful Greek island of Santorini, and so much more. This is not just a cruise. You'll follow in the footsteps of the apostles on the journeys of St. Paul to Athens and Ephesus. Absorb the sights of the early church on this one-of-a-kind spiritual journey, along with special guest, resident teaching pastor Alistair Begg. The Footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise, September 22nd to October 9th. For more information, go to am1280thepatriot.com.
Overwhelmed by your next move? Then take action and call Action Moving, your local Atlas Van Lines agent. With 27 years experience, Action Moving provides quality, reliable moves guaranteed. Get free estimates and competitive rates on local and interstate moves at 1-800-328-3803 or go to actionmoving.com. That's 1-800-328-3803 and mention you heard it on Hittner Real Estate's Chalk Talk Radio. Member of the Better Business Bureau.
Wow. TPM Flooring's private showroom is amazing. Wow. I've never seen a better selection of flooring. Wow. TPM Flooring gave me an on-the-spot estimate for my hardwood flooring. Wow. Their installers did a fantastic job. They vacuumed their way out the door. Wow. Put the wow into your next project with TPM Flooring of Burnsville. They supply and install carpet, vinyl, hardwood, and ceramic tile for your home or business. Wow. TPM Flooring. Online at tpmflooring.com.
And now, we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge, your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is Keith Hittner Sr. in the studio with Keith Hittner Jr. and Kelvin Kaemingk, the Money Man. We're going to finish up here speaking with Clark Johnson, the owner of Twin City Tree Authority. You can reach them directly at 612-834-8917. I'll say it again. Get your pencil. You got your pencil? 612-834-8917. They're the experts in the trees.
They are the Twin Cities Tree Authority.
They are the Twin Cities Tree Authority. So
That's
we were talking.
We went out last time. I was telling you that you've been told wrong.
Yes.
And
I figured wrong.
You figured wrong. I'm
Yes.
sorry. You figured wrong. We just a minute here. Let's talk about evergreen trees. I love my evergreen trees on both sides of my home.
You wanna
They're
keep 'em.
Great privacy. I don't want to lose them. I was kind of concerned about them, and I had Sly out to the property, and he had gave me some suggestions on what I could do to spruce up the spruce trees. Why don't you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, an option to try to get some nutrients into the ground around the spruce is put fertilizer stakes in. Every 3 or 4 feet, right around the drip line.
Time of the year matter?
Today would be good, right? With
yeah.
all that wet, it's going to go in pretty easy.
Yeah, we're okay. I mean,
Anytime.
not in the winter when the ground's frozen.
Right. But it's not like do it in the spring or you're screwed for the year.
No.
It's better than not doing it at all for 20 years.
That's true.
Because you might lose a 40-foot
All right, I'll take that.
tree.
I'll take that shot across the bow.
Shot.
So,
I mean, that's kind of the main thing. And then also I always recommend...
And why, though? Because the pine needles, difference between like a maple tree where all the leaves fall next to it and they decompose.
Well, the
and all
main
that.
problem is in an urban environment, we're cleaning up this
Right.
leaf, everything that falls off the trees that in a wooded area would decompose, replenish the soil, kind of a
Natural.
nutrient site recycling.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that. Everyone's cleaning every
scrap off their yard,
everything off. So we're not getting any nutrients put back into the soil, and the tree is really absorbing a lot of
Right.
those nutrients. So
Right.
it can start getting, the nutrients can diminish over time. And when you put fertilizer down for grass, the grass root structure is so dense that a lot of the time the tree won't get to that fertilizer. And it's easy to, if you don't do the fertilizing right, you can burn the roots. You can put too much down and actually damage the tree. So there's a fine, balance between, not enough and too
How
much.
about these feeders that you jam down in the ground, hook out to the hose?
Yeah, I mean, any way to
Anything.
get some nutrients in
Anything
there
is
for
better
the
than
trees.
nothing.
Yep.
And with the evergreen trees, then the needles, they don't really compose, and so even if it were, they're not getting that nutrient.
Yeah, the needles won't, break down.
Okay.
And, it's so that's not helping the situation at all.
Cool. Well, we love you guys for sure. Twin Cities Tree Authority. Senior, give the phone number.
Number is 612-834-8917. That's 612-834-8917. Or go to TwinCityTreeAuthority.com, TwinCityTreeAuthority.com. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to another area of the city and the urban environment, and that's downtown Minneapolis. And we've got Christopher Fleck. Chris Fleck is in the studio with North Central University. Welcome to the program, first of all.
Well, thanks for having me.
And why don't you just start off by telling us a little bit about North Central University, where it's located, and give us just a history of the school.
little background.
Wonderful. Thanks for asking. North Central University started out in 1930 as a Bible college. And in 1937, they purchased the old Osbury Hospital next to Elliott Park in the Elliott Park neighborhood, and has grown. In 1998, it changed from North Central Bible College to North Central University, and today it's a flourishing campus of about 12 acres, 44 roofs, about 1,200 students, 90% live on campus, PSEO students, four-year degree students with over 60.
What's PSEO mean?
Post-secondary.
Post-secondary
take it in
education
high
option,
school.
yeah.
Okay.
They can come on campus. Then we have graduate
For all the
programs
smart
as well.
kids.
Okay.
Yeah. But we've been in downtown for about 86 years. It's an urban school, very much alive. It's a lot of fun.
So you've seen a lot of changes in the Minneapolis skyline and the Minneapolis scene.
Ho, ho, ho.
How does that kind of activity impact the school?
It's a win-win. I mean, right now there's over 21 construction development projects going down in downtown Minneapolis. And most of those businesses and organizations need internships, need jobs. I mean, there's over 40 new businesses that have either moved into downtown from the suburbs or out of state, or are in the process of moving downtown. And the number one reason they're moving downtown with this huge explosion that's happening is because they're seeking talent from the exodus of these 500,000 adults that are in the process of retiring over the next 5 years. So there's a lot of great win-win happening, and it's a very exciting place to be.
Explain that to me, that talent pool. Just kind of going a little deeper on that.
According to a couple of speakers that I've heard over the last 2 years, one being the head of secondary education for all the state of Minnesota, and the other from a top 1% business owners representative group in downtown. Over the next 5 years, 1.5 million adults in the state of Minnesota are retiring. In the next 15 years, or the next 5 years, 500,000 are retiring. In the next 15 years, 1.5 million adults are retiring. And so with this exodus of retiring work laborers, the number one concern on business owners' minds is, how are we going to fill this talent
How are we
vacuum?
going to replace them?
Right.
Yep.
And 74% of business require a 4-year degree or higher. And with an exploding immigrant population in the state, helping people get degrees and get into these businesses is key.
Are people, when they retire, are you seeing them just completely exit the workforce, or are they moving from their permanent position into more consultative roles, or do you notice anything about that?
I don't know that I can speak to that. Yeah.
There's how about those people that are retiring in terms of going back and getting more education? Do you see an older population coming into the school at all, or is it basically kids?
Right now, we have our student population from 17, 18-year-olds to adults. Our adults are mostly in our graduate degree programs and strategic leadership. That's where we're at right now.
When you see people coming in to go to school, you say that 90% of them live on campus?
That's correct.
Is that properties that you own?
That's correct.
When you have all that development downtown, what kind of constraints do you have then on your growth and expansion? Because then that's a lot of demand for real estate, essentially.
Right now, with the approximate 12 acres that we have on campus, and properties come on value on a regular basis, almost on an opportunistic type basis, there's room to expand. But we have the capacity right now to handle what we're doing now and expand even further.
How many students can the campus hold, you think, right now?
We have capacities of upwards to 1,500 students, I've been told.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, Kelvin, you've got kids now that are in that going to go to college kind of age, or entering college, or looking at schools and stuff. When you compare colleges, what kinds of things are going through your minds and questions that your kids are asking?
So one of the things that we were looking at, well, my daughter starts. She will be there next Saturday, going to her first year. She went 2 years with Youth with a Mission, and now is going to North Central. And one of the things, what the clinch for us was, we went to a number of schools. What got us for North Central was they require chapel every day, right? So it's a Christian campus, and I remember being in chapel and listening. They start the chapel with praise and worship, and it's not like when I went to school. I went to Northwestern College in Orange City, Iowa, and chapel was just something you endured.
Mm-hmm.
When you went to chapel there, the kids are in the aisles. They're all, it's praise and worship, and they're going for it. And my wife leans over to me and says, I want Chris's husband to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, it played out differently, but now we did pull her boyfriend from Pennsylvania, who's now going to North Central as well.
So you're positioning, you're posturing.
So we're posturing. So anyway, so that was one thing, and then quite honestly, just the small campus. It's 1,200 students, but yet that feels small, and it's contained, and it's metro. The opportunities for the business. My daughter's boyfriend's going to the business school, and their business school is just. I think it's the hidden treasure of North Central, and the internship opportunities starting already in their freshman year, getting them right into the business community, downtown Minneapolis. You couldn't ask for a better environment for your kids to get a good internship and to have a great career going into there. So I'm pushing. We have John High has been on the phone with Kyle, my son, who will be a senior, and they're recruiting him hard for basketball, which was cool. Kyle got accepted to another school this week as well to play ball. So he'll evaluate that. But, my heart's at North Central, not just for the basketball, but because of the type of student that attends there is the type of student I would want associated with.
Discover our residential services or commercial services and contact us today for more information at nahometheater.com.
New Life Contracting, specialists in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and paint for your home. New Life Contracting features GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractors. Only 1% to 2% of contractors nationwide qualify as Master Elite Roofers. That means New Life Contracting can offer better warranties on the GAF product lines. That means special training every year and extended warranties that put New Life Contracting into an elite club that wins awards and provides unmatched service and work for you since 1998. Learn more at newlifecontracting.com and click on Free Estimate.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher for Park Chrysler Jeep. As a former Jeep owner, I loved every minute of my Jeep experience. Whether running to the store or hitting the open road, there's no experience like it. Mike at Park Chrysler Jeep and his team are able to get you into a Jeep that you'll love to drive with their destination location in Burnsville.
Hello, this is Anthony Williams. I am one of your product specialists at Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville. I'm excited to be part of this family-owned dealership. We want to invite you, Jeep fans, and especially if you've never considered Jeep before, to come to Park Chrysler Jeep. We are the people's dealership. If you are driving a vehicle you hate or you owe too much money on, don't worry. We have a program for you. Need or want a quality new or used vehicle? Come see us at Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville, 15 minutes from the Mall of America.
Family owned since 1957, there's a reason why people travel from out of state to have the Park Chrysler Jeep experience. Whether you need a Jeep or just need one service, there's only one, Park Chrysler Jeep, or online at parkchryslerjeep.com.
Inefficient heating and cooling systems can really take a toll on your utility bill and comfort levels. The trained technicians at H2C have been helping local homes and business owners for over 50 years. They make sure that every system is operating at its peak performance. Energy-efficient heating and cooling systems from the highly trained experts at H2C Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, bringing back fair pricing to the Twin Cities. Visit myh2c.com.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. To do you right, we take time for a barbecue flavor that will blow your mind. Get that Rack Shack attack, oh, Rack Shack barbecue. Made fresh daily, we cater to you. Homemade sauces, secret rubs too. It's America's food and the right thing to do. Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Yeah.
And now, we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge, your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, welcome back. We're broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio here in the Twin Cities. I'm Keith Hittner Sr. in the studio with Keith Hittner Jr. You can reach us directly at 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. Call us with any real estate need at all. Even if you just want a little advice, that's okay too. We'd love to talk to you. And if you're planning a lunch meeting or a company picnic, give them some really great food and call the Rack Shack Barbecue. Call them today. Their catering hotline number is 612-326-0430. And you can call and speak with Elliot directly or go online to rackshackbarbecue.com and fill out the catering form.
So we're talking with Christopher Fleck from North Central University. Thanks for being in here today. Calvin, you're in a position in your life where your kids are starting to go to college, and you've settled up with North Central University, and I know that you've been to yourself, gone to Christian or faith-based education. My children go to a Catholic school in Faithful Shepherd in Eagan, and so I'm curious as a father of young children where my kids would go. So I didn't know much about North Central until Kelvin started talking about it over coffee. And so my questions as a young father of kids, 7 and under, 3 of them, is where are my kids going to go to college? We think about, the next step in education from elementary school to middle school to high school, but where are they going to go to college? And so my question to you is, what kind of a comparison can you give to, say, a public university or University of Minnesota, for instance, one, from a culture standpoint, and 2, from a financial standpoint?
Okay, first of all, we're talking about a faith-based school versus a non-faith-based school. I want to tell you straight out of the chute that at North Central University, even though we're owned and operated by 11 state districts of the Assemblies of God, over 50% of our students are non-AG. We're here to raise up students with knowledge, skill, but one other component is virtue. And that's the differentiating value in business or being a teacher or a pastor or a youth worker or a worship. leader is that virtue, talent, and it's done through living on campus with that dorm mentoring type of relationship. So how does that compare to a state school? I can tell you statistically from the Barna Group that 1 out of 10 students that consider themselves faith-based Christian that goes to a secular school will 70% of students will walk from their faith under a 4-year school type thing. And so it can be very risky ground. Yet you want to be able to gain skills and knowledge to equip you in the marketplace for doing business, for doing whatever your career is. Why can't you combine both a faith-based environment that provides mentoring and still get outstanding equipping in your education?
So what's the challenges that you face in doing that in an urban environment?
Well, the urban environment isn't for everyone. I mean, at first blush, it can be a little scary for people, and that is our differentiating value in the marketplace that we are from our other faith-based schools in town, which are great schools, by the way, is that we're in the urban. But let's face it, if you are in an urban school, you have heart for people, and you get introduced to the buzz of what's going on in downtown. And when you find you can walk to the U.S. Bank Stadium and work, and it's 2 blocks away, or you can walk and go to a Rotary meeting with me on the 50th floor of the IDS, or you can serve in marketing companies or schools or all kinds of things. I mean, it's...
So there's a lot of talk about the business aspect of the school, but how about from an outreach standpoint and the opportunities from an outreach standpoint for the students? Carissa, your daughter, has done a ton of work overseas in just being helpful to communities. Do you guys have a lot of programs like that where folks can help out in the community then in an urban setting and to be involved in helping the community?
Absolutely. Some of our majors are youth leadership, urban leadership. We have a school of missions that's a part of our church leadership program. So whether they're serving locally, out of the state, or overseas, I mean, I don't care if you're talking Teen Challenge, helping out with substance abuse type things or whatever. It's all over the place. And there's all kinds of clubs on campus that you participate in.
So there's a lot of clubs on campus that are participating in the downtown area.
Even athletics. I mean, 15% of our student population is involved in athletics. And Greg Johnson, who came a year ago from Northwestern University, great school, we met 5 months ago, and he's talking about, Chris, I need to know who's downtown. I need to know how we can get our students engaged in moving the net downtown to serve our community downtown. So it's a real deal, and the walk is a talk.
So part 2 of my question, then again, we're talking with Christopher Fleck from North Central University in Minneapolis, correct? You guys are in Minneapolis,
that's correct.
On Elliott Avenue. Second part of my question was financially, in comparison to like the public university setting of the University of Minnesota to North Central University. Financially, what's the comparison? Are you more expensive, less expensive?
Same as?
I think it depends on the student. But I will tell you this. As a private school, we do not receive state aid in terms of state funding for the school through tax dollars. But having said that, 98% of our students receive some form of financial aid. So historically, a school is about $22,000 to $24,000 a year. And between loans and grants and student aid and that kind of stuff, it's one of the most affordable faith-based schools we have in the metro.
Yeah, the difference is it's over $10,000 less than some of the other schools that we were looking at after when everything's said and done, and it's right on par with when you look at the universities, you're right on par, same cost. When you add in the tuition will be less than the state school, but all the add-on fees, you equal out real easily, and you lose the faith-based portion of it,
which is important.
So you're competing with other schools and other faith-based schools and public colleges and private schools and such around the United States, actually around the country, and in the Midwest and obviously Minnesota. What would be your unique selling proposition? I mean, if you had to sit down and say, look, we have these 5 colleges we're looking at, why would I choose your college?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons, and some of them we've already mentioned, but I'll just review briefly. One, our differentiating value is we're an urban school, period. 2, we're a faith-based school. It's the real deal. It's not fake. And so if you want to be encouraged in your walk and you want to have friends that are going to be lifetime friendships and develop those skills for life and whatever you're doing in serving or work, that's there.
You talked one of the things that kind of caught my ear from the last segment they were talking about is is the business school aspect of it, and what makes that so powerful in your school, and what are the opportunities that a young student who has a mindset for business would choose your school as opposed to like St. Mary's College in Winona?
I guess you could just look at the fruit of what's being developed. Professor Bill Tibbetts is our director for School of Business. We have a new entrepreneurial program that we've launched the last couple of years. But whether you're a business major or administration, marketing, finance, or entrepreneurship or whatever, and by the way, entrepreneurial majors are encouraged to start their business their freshman year as soon as possible and get bootstrapped up and moving forward. But the talent that gets developed out of that, for example, a student named Philip came into my office last spring, and his heart's with the Vikings and doing stats. And through some relationships, I coached him to go visit some people, and he did the work. And this fall, he's doing stats for game day for all the Vikings for an internship and getting paid. We have graduates that are working at General Mills in the Yoplait line, managing part of the marketing aspects for General Mills. I don't care if you're talking Best Buy or U.S. Bank or whatever. The proof is in the pudding of where these students are getting jobs through relationships and great talent. But business is looking for not only knowledge and skills, but that virtue aspect so they can not only retain these students, but grow them for a lifetime in these businesses.
In the last minute or so, talk a little bit about graduates, people who have graduated from college, they've gone off and started their careers. Do you see them trying to give back to the school? How involved are they in the school postgraduate?
Well, North Central historically for a lot of years was a Bible college. So it was focused primarily on raising the next generation of pastors, worship leaders, youth workers. But in the last 20 years, as we've added on the liberal arts wing, which is very large, and we've got a different mix of alumni that are in there. So we have people like Bill Savoda with Co-Ed Monkey, who has a T-shirt business worldwide and is just exploding. He's active in Substance Church. We've got Luke Frederick, who's got an office co-working, sharing space in downtown Minneapolis for people up to age 30 so they can launch their businesses and work in relation with other people and gain mentoring skills and that kind of stuff. And we've got Homecoming coming up in October 14th and 15th. It's going to be a great event with soccer games and everything.
Sounds like an exciting school, an exciting place to be. North Central University in downtown Minneapolis. Thanks, Christopher Fleck, for being in here, the development officer for Northwestern University or North Central University. And Kelvin, you got some kids going down there. I'll expect to have some updates from you. As
we'll have updates, I'm sure.
Northcentral.edu is our website, northcentral.edu.
That's it for this week on Your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll see you next week.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Ooh, 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 yeah.
Hey, it's Kelvin Kaemingk, the Money Man from Your Real Estate Chalk Talk. It's hard to believe that we're in our 7th season with the show. I love the conversations we have on a weekly basis and know that I'm here to help you with your new purchase or refinance. We never charge an origination fee, so don't believe your lender when they say it's a required or standard fee. Also, if you mention this ad, I'll cover the cost of your appraisal when we close on your home loan. It's time for a smart conversation. Call me today at 651-231-2500. Again, 651-231-2500. You're going to like the way we work. American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, NMLS number 150953.
Relief in Tucson red. Feeling better in Santorini blue. No matter what the color, Wow One Day Painting gets any job done in a day guaranteed. The experts at Wow One Day Painting take away your stress with a free on-site quote and spotless cleanup. Uniformed, professional, and on time. So stay mellow in yellow and relax when you have Wow One Day Painting on the job. Call Wow One Day Painting, 1-888-969-1329. Wow One Day Painting.com.